Hello, everyone. Welcome back uh, to our next session. And if you have just joined now, uh, this is Scholars in Blockchain International Symposium, hosted by the British Blockchain Association. My name is Naseem Naqvi. I'm the founder and president of the BBA and the editor-in-chief of our journal. We are hosting our International Scientific Conference next year in London, and submissions are open. Deadline is first week of December. So if you would like to speak at our conference, please do submit your papers. We are receiving some very good quality abstracts. Again, this is going to be the 7th international conference. So this event, we had some really excellent talks this morning on a very wide range of topics being discussed. Leading blockchain academics are participating in the symposium. This event is going to be recorded, and it will be available afterwards on demand. And each speaker has about 5 minutes to talk about their institution in their research projects and any advice suggestions they have for blockchain and crypto researchers. So with that, I would like to invite Professor Kruja, Dr. Alba Kruja from Albania, to say a few words and talk about her institution. I'm very honored to be honorary professor there at Epoka University in Albania, and we have been working with Alba for some time now. We have hosted many events in the metaverse and also on other platforms. She's doing some excellent work raising the awareness about blockchain and distributed ledger technologies in Epoka University. So thank you very much. Alba, over to you. Thank you. Alba, can you hear me? Alba, can you hear me? Okay, I think she's muted. I think while she's trying to sort out, she's here, but for some reason we are not able to see her. We can have Professor Dimitri, Nicola Dimitri.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, Nicola. You all right?
I'm all right. I don't know
Yes.
why the camera isn't doing the proper job. You see, how do you see me?
I think it is because of the background.
There's too much light. Let me just wait. Let's see if it's now a little better. Not that much. It's strange enough because it always works here in similar conditions. Is it sufficient for you, or should we?
No, I think it is fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You maybe
shouldn't try
behind a
to.
green screen or something is better, but that's okay.
Okay, so should I go ahead at this point?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation. And let me just say who I am. I'm Professor of Economics, full Professor of Economics at the University of Siena in Italy. Siena is a small medieval town between Florence and Rome, and is also a heritage, UNESCO heritage city. And the university is one of the oldest, I suppose, in the world. It goes back to 1240. And still working since then. I belong to the Department of Economics and Statistics, which is part of the School of Economics and Management at the University of Siena, and which is supposed to be one of the best School of Economics in the country, with sufficiently large international visibility for many years. Now, insofar as my projects concerning blockchains and cryptocurrencies are concerned, let me say that I've been working in the area since 2017, so for 7 years now. And most of my work has been, the outcome of research projects which I've been running for blockchain platforms, who actually provided grants for these projects, and then I followed up with academic publications. These projects became academic publications. And let me just mention that I've been working with platforms such as Polkadot, Tezos, Algorand, VeChain, Near, and Neo. And most of the work that I've done for them is now published in internationally peer-reviewed journals. The topics that I've been touching upon mostly have been dealing with consensus, and in particular proof of stake and proof of work, but also with voting, more specifically quadratic voting in DAOs organizations, so also with DAO. I've been dealing with sharding, namely the fragmentation of chains in order to scale up the chain. With two tokens economies, such as VeChain, for instance, but also Neo, two tokens which are both actually exchanged in exchange nodes. Okay, so they're both like they have a market for it. And more recently with financial arbitrage. So I've been engaged in a variety of topics, depending upon the project, but also the interest that I had on these issues. Now, insofar as the departmental initiatives are concerned, or school initiatives are concerned, I must admit that there is no critical mass of people here in Siena working on these issues, neither in the computer science nor in the economics. So I'm more or less the only one, and there are a number of reasons why I got interested in the field, which I don't have the time now to explain. But despite that, I had a number of master students and few PhD students to supervise on the issue. So what they basically do is that they enroll either in the Masters of Economics, Masters in Finance, and then, they ask me to supervise on these particular topics. And then, they continue working perhaps in PhD programs, either in Siena or elsewhere. And which I did, I also supervised students in PhD programs outside Siena. But let me say that if you wanted to come to Siena to study, you should simply apply to the PhD in economics, which is an international program with about 10 to 12 scholarships awarded to students every year. It's a 3 years scholarship program with an extension to the 4th year in case you don't complete the program in the 3 years. But normally most people do. You have about a year and few months of advanced courses to take in various areas of economics, and then you do your own research. And at that point, you could be supervised by me if you wanted to come on, issues related to cryptocurrencies and blockchains, whatever the issue is going to be. So bear in mind that this is an economics department. I'm an economist. I'm not, pursuing these kind of studies from a computer scientist perspective, but rather from an economic perspective, which is of course always underlying the whole industry, because if the economics wouldn't work, the industry wouldn't be there. I mean, at least to the extent that we observe nowadays. Okay, so again, you're more than welcome to come to Siena, more than welcome to register for master's program or to apply for a PhD program, but don't expect a critical mass like a specialized center with several people working in the field, because there aren't, okay? Like, for instance, I saw before Professor Laura Ricci from Pisa. They do have a center of people, which is, Pisa is not far from Siena, still in Tuscany. I know that they are doing, you know, a very good job there as computer scientists, but also as in the economics application. They do have a group of people working in the same area. Here we don't, but I would be very happy to host and supervise students interested in this kind of topics. So I think the time is over, more or less.
Thank you very much.
I can stop it here unless you have questions, etc., etc.
Thank you very much, Nicola. That was an excellent overview. Alba, something happened, but now you are back, so that's good. So, Alba, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Naqvi, and sorry for the problem with the internet connection. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Alba Kruja. I'm very pleased to be in this Scholars of Blockchain and Innovators event. It's really a privilege for me to be among such distinguished professors, and also with Professor Naqvi. And as he mentioned, we have had a lot of collaborations previously with him. So my name is Alba Kruja, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences and a Professor of Entrepreneurship at Epoka University in Albania. So Epoka University stands as one of the Albanian's leading higher education institutions dedicated to fostering innovative research, quality education, and also impactful engagement within our community and beyond. Our university encompasses with 3 faculties: Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Faculty of Architecture and Engineering, and the Faculty of Law and Social Sciences. So at all levels of education and within all our 3 faculties, we prioritize a forward-thinking approach to education, continually evolving to prepare our students for the dynamic demands of the global economy. Within our faculty, we have been focusing mainly our research on the interactions of technology, sustainability, as well as business transformation. Blockchain technology has become a cornerstone of our digital transformation strategy, not only as faculty, but also as university. Recognizing its potential, we are deeply committed to advancing research that explores how blockchain can enhance transparency, efficiency, and resilience in a variety of fields, including mainly supply chain management, operations management, as well as financial technology. In supply chain management, our research has investigated blockchain's ability to improve traceability, transparency, and trust across complex supply chains. For instance, we have explored how blockchain could allow real-time tracking of products from production through to delivery, providing end users with a clear and verified journey of their goods. In the realm of financial technology, we are focusing on examining blockchain's capacity to secure transactions, reduce costs, and decentralize financial processes. By exploring these applications, we aim to make substantive contributions to global conversations around blockchain technology and inspire our students to think creatively and critically about its potential. So our research conducted here is within our classes, within our students, with other professors and other universities, and as well as industry partners. So at Epoka University, we do offer study programs at bachelor, master, and PhD, and our main emphasis in our faculty is business technology and its impact on sustainability. So we view blockchain technology as a central to this focus, especially concerning its implications for business process optimization, as well as sustainable, and community practices. So our students are encouraged to delve into blockchain's applications across the areas, working on projects that challenge conventional business models and explore more transparent, sustainable approaches made possible, all of these through the blockchain. So to enhance further our students' knowledge, we have involved them also in other workshops, applications, and also commitments that they have had with the industry. So Epoca University values collaborative efforts and is actively seeking partnerships with international institutions to enhance our blockchain research and capabilities. We believe that by working with other academic institutions and industry partners, we can expand our knowledge base, develop joint research projects, and ultimately make impactful contributions toward blockchain technology. So we warmly welcome scholars and professionals interested in teaching or researching in blockchain to join us at our Epoca University campus in Albania. Our strong industry connections, collaborative approaches, and commitment to innovation offer an ideal environment for pioneering research and development in the blockchain. So we are also excited about creating partnerships with international institutions to further enhance our blockchain research capabilities. Thank you once again for the opportunity to introduce our institution and our blockchain initiatives. We look forward to building meaningful partnerships with the blockchain research community and contributing to this exciting transformative field. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alba. That was excellent talk. And I would vouch for everything that Alba has said. I've been also affiliated with this university for some time. I think they are doing some incredible work in Europe, and especially around blockchain, emerging technologies. They are always open to new ideas. I remember we suggested hosting an event in the metaverse, and
Yes,
Alba
yes.
was very keen, and we actually have been doing it for a couple of years now. So I think this is an exciting university, and they are very organized. Rector is very, very active. You may have seen Ahmed Ostas on LinkedIn. So excellent. Thank you very much, Alba, for your contributions. So next speaker we have is Roman Beck. Roman, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, excellent. Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for the invitation and thanks for organizing this. This is a great event, and it seems a bit like a family gathering, kind of, with people you're working together. I have 5 minutes. I will say a few words about what we are doing and how we came into the whole kind of crypto and ledger research business. Back in 2012, we applied for funding to do a PhD seminar on management of complex systems. And for the PhD students, we were wondering kind of what could be an example for a complex system everybody's using, but nobody has really the capabilities to manage it, right? And then we picked Bitcoin, a system everyone is using, everyone can use, but how is it managed? If you can call it being managed. We got really intrigued by the capabilities and the features of Bitcoin, and then we reached out to more people, trying to get hold of core developers of Bitcoin and also sort of other people in the loop. And ultimately, somebody said, I can come over and give a workshop. And that is also on a recording on our blockchain website, ebcc.eu, a video of Stephen Tual. And he was one of the founding members of Ethereum. He said, I come over and give a presentation, but not on Bitcoin. We are working on an alternative. So we started having a test node, and we were running Ethereum as a test node before it launched. And from there, we saw kind of course, as we all know now today, the full potential of programmable business logic in smart contracts that go beyond the financial services industry. And in order to make this clear, we started working together with Maersk, the shipping company, Nordea, one of the biggest, if not the biggest bank in the Nordics, and the Danish tax authorities on use cases in 2015. We wanted to make sure that this goes beyond, Bitcoin and that kind of larger kind of portions of society and industry understand what this is, and that this tremendously may have a changing effect on their business. So we ultimately kind of worked on one of the first prototypes Maersk was working on, which later became TradeLens. And from there, kind of the industry partners were and the public sector partners were so kind of fascinated by the collaboration because they also learned from each other, kind of Maersk, Nordea, the Danish Tax Authority. They realized there are overlaps, something like trade finance, where they also kind of see they can learn from each other and there are synergy effects. And then they asked us to kind of continue a collaboration, which was the starting point for having a center. And the center is sort of, even though it says center, it should actually say something like European Blockchain Network, because the idea was very similar to the technology, which is a decentralized ledger technology that allows kind of tokenization and smart contracts. We all know what that is. As very similar to the decentralization of the technology, it should be studied, researched, and sort of like focused on from a decentralized perspective, meaning different disciplines at different locations with different backgrounds, should actually explore it. Which is why the European Blockchain Center in Copenhagen is a co-founding kind of initiative from IT University of Copenhagen, the Copenhagen University, and CBS, the Copenhagen Business School. And over the years, we had more partners coming in, which allowed us to kind of do projects, both kind of research projects funded by different funding agencies, as well as contractual research. Whenever we saw there's actually strong research interest also from an academic point of view, we also kind of wandered into the field of contractual research. And over the years, we did over 7 international blockchain schools with PhD students from Japan, South Africa, Mexico. We had like 500 PhD students over the years who went through our courses, as well as through courses organized via the VHB, the German Association for Professors in Business Administration, where I'm doing every second year PhD course for German-speaking PhD students, which is one pillar of our center, kind of generating and disseminating knowledge. And as you all know, kind of in the beginning, there was no textbook, there was nothing to grab, which meant we had to incubate our own teaching material, which is why we wrote 2 teaching cases for Harvard Business School. We have other teaching cases in MISQE, so that we can populate our courses on blockchain economics at a master, PhD, and executive level. That's what we've done. In addition to that, and I think this is a strong kind of pillar of the European Blockchain Center, we also engaged in international standardization and regulation activities. So you all know in 2016, 2017, companies were running around trying to get hold of somebody who can explain to them what this phenomenon is. And large corporation came over and wanted to have in-house seminars, as well as ask for kind of standards to look at and what might be the regulatory kind of frameworks that they have to adhere to. Which ultimately led to our initiatives around ISO, the International Standardization Organization, where I worked for over 7 years as convener to develop the blockchain governance standard at ISO. I represented Denmark at OECD after the Libra Diem shock, when all the countries were realizing private money might come and we have to figure out how we can regulate that. And from that OECD initiative, ultimately MiCA materialized. I'm working at UNECE on interoperability governance that is specifically challenging. The governance of interoperability, kind of governance of governance between different ledger systems is a really hard to crack nut. And last but not least, kind of I'm representing Denmark at EPSI, the European Blockchain Services Infrastructure Development, where kind of Europe is working on a single digital European market to implement kind of processes cross-border, moving abroad, studying abroad, working abroad. Now that also kind of comes with challenges around what are we implementing, which kind of values, which kind of societal norms are embedded in a system that is supposed to serve as public infrastructure, us citizens, which gave rise to our research on blockchain ethics, where I have been co-convener for the last 3 years for the EU Commission, and we wrote the first guidelines for ethical guidelines for blockchain systems, which you can also download from the website of the EU Commission. So you're seeing sort of kind of our philosophy is doing projects with companies, doing projects in an interdisciplinary setting, generating publications, and over the years we had over 80 peer-reviewed publications, and making sure that this is also kind of conveyed into good standards and good regulation, because we believe good standards, good regulation give good compliance. And kind of if you want to safeguard your investments into a ledger technology, into DAO, into Web3, want to get certainty or kind of some sort of certainty that what you're doing is not kind of declared illegal or illegitimate in the years to come. These are important kind of initiatives. Last but not least, I'm not sure how we are doing time-wise, but I'm sure kind of you will stop me, Naseem.
Yeah, you have 15 seconds.
Perfect. You know, kind of we are working on ledger analytics, on ledger data analytics, which is a field kind of we are strengthening and emphasizing. And many of you here in the call kind of also contribute to the encyclopedia on cryptocurrencies and blockchain, something I'm editing, which is going to be published next year. So an encyclopedia of the whole thing. It's also a demanding challenge. And I'm really happy to be able to say a few words about what we are doing, where we are coming from, and hearing from you kind of what your genesis was, how you ended up here, and kind of how you move on, where you see potential in research. Thank you very much, Naseem, for having me and giving the opportunity to talk about that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Roman. That was Professor Roman Beck. Excellent contributions. Next is Professor Riem AbdelAzim. She's one of our editors of the journal, and very nice lady. Riem, thank you for joining us. Yes, please go ahead. You have your 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. Today I'm excited to participate and share a few innovative projects and share some takeaways for future graduate researchers. But first, I really want to thank Naseem and the Journal of British Blockchain Association and the Center for Evidence-Based Blockchain for the opportunity to introduce myself and my research in this Scholars in Blockchain International Symposium. That's the first in the world international gathering for blockchain professors. It's really exciting. I'm Riem AbdelAzim, Assistant Professor of Information Systems. Currently, I'm based in New Jersey, USA. I've had the privilege of teaching and conducting research at several institutions, including Misr University for Science and Technology in Egypt, where I served as the head of the Information Systems department there. My academic journey has focused on the intersection of information systems and other technologies, emerging technologies, and that's why I'm particularly passionate about the blockchain technologies and their, of course, possible applications in business and economic development. I've been supervising undergraduate students, and one of my students explored the development of decentralized marketplaces on the Ethereum blockchain. And this project particularly addressed limitations of centralized online marketplaces, and it was a sample within the university for students to interact together, and it leveraged the smart contracts and the blockchain transparency as a medium. Another project I have supervised was a blockchain for academic credentials, and my students were investigating the use of blockchain technology to generate and verify academic certificates. They did it on a small scale. It was a proof of concept. I was so proud of their achievement. They have reached things we were not planning to have at the very beginning. And it aimed to enhance, of course, the security and efficiency of credential management in educational institutions. Another two projects I would like to tell you about with my graduate students, master's degree students, one of which is financial applications, fintech, actually, financial technologies. And since I'm actively reading in the integration of blockchain in financial technologies, This one focused on the distributed ledgers and the impact on business processes. Like Roman said before, they are contacting Merzic. I had it as a use case to discuss with my postgraduate students. And actually, I invited in one of my lectures the project leader in IBM who did the major distributed ledger project as a first project with Merzic. So yes, fintech applications do have a portion here with the blockchain. And another very interesting project was about blockchain in healthcare. My students came up with an idea to improve data management and interoperability in the healthcare system. They had this research aiming to address critical issues like patient data privacy and secure sharing of medical records between the insurance companies, pharmaceutical like CVS and other pharmacies, and the clinics and hospitals, sharing of this patient records in between as an interoperability thing. Looking ahead, I'm excited about some potential blockchain technology to transform various industries. And there is really a wide potential for advancing these practices across like various domains. I can list of them, for example, identity management. There was, and it still is undergoing research for financial identity, where we need to enhance the personal security, identity security, and verification of people over the Web3, basically, and government services, improving, for example, voting systems, record keeping, and public sector efficiency. These are few of many we can think of as research for further investigation. I believe that combining rigorous academic research with practical industry applications, there are limitless possibilities. And this definitely drives the innovation in different fields, spanning from healthcare to financial technologies, supply chain management services, and many, many others. I think I'm also honored to contribute, as Naseem said, to contribute as one of the blockchain community. I was a reviewer for the Journal of British Blockchain Association. I was really happy to engage in cutting edge research across the globe, actually. And today I'm speaking here in the symposium. Actually, events like these allow us to discuss and really get in touch and base touch latest development in blockchain technology and share insights on practical applications. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm very happy to hear all of you. And thank you for listening to me. I think this is a 5 minutes thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Riem. Thank you. Yes, you have been excellent contributor. Your reviews have been very thorough, very detailed. Researchers have benefited from your reviews a lot. So thank you for that. So next we have Professor Marco Di Maggio from Imperial College. Marco, can you hear me? You are here?
Yes, I can hear you.
Here you go. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, let me share a couple of slides. Just can you see the screen?
No, not yet.
Can you now see the screen? Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for organizing this. I think it's a great opportunity to put all of us together and get to know a little bit everybody who is involved in this space from all different angles. I think that's the most exciting thing. And I hope that this is really just the start of creating a much better network among ourselves and everybody who is interested in this space. So I am Marco Di Maggio. I'm at the Imperial College Business School. And I've been involved in this space for quite some time. I thought of using my 5 minutes just to put some seeds there to see, to show you some of the stuff that I've been doing and see whether potentially there is some cross-pollination of ideas and some interest of doing some projects together. So let me start with my experience has been from the ivory tower of thinking about this space from an household finance point of view. So thinking about, for instance, what are the some of these questions are who invests in crypto? What are actually the investors who put their money into this industry? How that has evolved over time. We've seen a lot of wealth generated, especially during the last bull market in this space. Do we see any spillover effect into the real economy? And so I have been looking at whether crypto wealth percolates into the real economy. And then one of the latest projects has been about central bank digital currency, because we had the opportunity of partner with the Indian Central Bank, where they launched a pilot about CBDC. Just let me tell you maybe one thing about each one of these papers that I think is interesting. So in the first one, which is titled Who Invests in Crypto, Wealth, Financial Constraints, and Risk Attitudes, we really try to challenge this. The results challenge the idea that the crypto investors are just the Redditors and libertarians and the crypto punks that some of the regulators around the world have always depicted them to be. And instead, we find that crypto investors are much more likely to be similar to the traditional investors. Because in the data we use, we have both their stock and bond participation, as well as their participation in the crypto market. And so we can actually look at how their demographics look like, the type of investment they make, how they react to shocks, both in terms of business cycle shocks as well as information shocks. And we see basically how they also react to inflation. And we can actually see that there is a big fraction of investors that do in fact put more money into crypto, in particular BTC, when inflation rised as it happened in the last few years. And we see that the ones that do the most are actually the ones that entered in the market during the COVID era, the gamblers, so the ones that actually also invest, also sort of gamble their money on the betting sites, and also sophisticated investors, the ones with a financial background. The second paper, which is a companion paper about the effects of cryptocurrency wealth on household consumption and investment, there basically we look at how much wealth they created over time and see whether investors take out the wealth that they got from the crypto market, sort of an ATM, and then they reinvest it in the real economy. And the main result is that they do, not only in terms of consumption. You can think about these investors withdrawing money, selling their crypto holdings when prices are very high, and then start consuming it. But we actually show that they invest significantly in the real estate market. And so a number of crypto investors have become homeowners thanks to the wealth that they generated in the crypto market. And that's one channel through which there is a spillover effect between traditional markets and new markets like the crypto one. The last paper instead and project is the one about the retail CBDC that has been launched in India. There, the main idea is to test some of the theories and discussions that have been around about CBDC, and especially whether the introduction of central bank digital currency jeopardized the deposits for the banks. We see that in the Indians, I think at least, even if the CBDC, the digital rupee, does not offer interest, we do see a shift of deposits away from traditional banks. And so even in the data, during at least this pilot, we do see that there is some merit to the concerns about the role of banks in attracting deposits when there is an alternative like a CBDC. Now, let me just spend the last 20 seconds or so with some shameless self-promotion. I put out a new book since I've been teaching in this space for quite some time, both at Harvard Business School and now at the Imperial College. I put together a book that I'm going to use as a textbook to teach both undergraduate and master students in this area. We go from 0 to 100. So there are, I take the topic from the very start. So from proof of work, how to build a chain, up to Web3, and also the intersection between AI and crypto. The book can be sort of read and used in different areas because it has a lot of Harvard Business School cases. So if you want to have a course that is a little bit lighter and is more business oriented and finance oriented, you can use and focus those. Some of these cases, one of these cases has actually been written with Roman about Deloitte, but there are cases about Uniswap, about Coinbase, about Axie Infinity, about Ava Labs, all a bunch of different cases. So if you want to take that route, that's perfectly fine. Or if you want to be very technical, the whole book is actually written with the possibility of teaching people to code in Python and Solidity. And so you can really teach them to build smart contracts up to even build an AMM by themselves. And so thank you so much, guys. And I think this is a great opportunity. I really look forward to the next opportunity to share ideas with you and connect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marco. Excellent. Thank you. And for this session, last speaker, we have Shada. Shada, you all right? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, please go ahead.
Very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Shada Alsalamah. I'm an associate professor of digital health cybersecurity in the Information Systems Department at the College of Computer Science and Information Sciences at King Saud University in Saudi Arabia. I also wear another hat where I'm a technical officer of digital health and artificial intelligence at the Department of Digital Health and Innovation in the Science Division at the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. Given my multidisciplinary expertise in digital health and cybersecurity, there's a lot of work to be done there, and we need a lot of people working in those areas that are so much multidisciplinary. I'm going to talk about the blockchain implementation or applications that I've been working on. But I don't say I've been working, I say I've been playing, because it's a field that has a lot of potential and there is a lot of room for mistakes, which is great, fine, because we learned with my students a lot about how we can deploy it right in different areas. Now, digital health has been my favorite cup of tea. Now, we have the technology as computer scientists. So the idea is that how can you use state-of-the-art technology to address pressing needs? So the problem is not in the technology. The problem is in understanding the problem you're trying to solve using blockchain. So I've been working with my students and research team on applications in the digital health, cybersecurity for the past 6 years. And when I say cybersecurity, I talk about availability of information to people to make informed decision, and that has been the focus for the past 6 years. This is to ensure that the right information is available to the right person at the right time to support informed decision-making. And I applied it in areas like electronic medical records for global citizens, cross jurisdictions, diabetic patients, to ensure that caregiving is done among the care team and the caregiving team. So whether they were paid or not. In obesity, to incentivize obese citizens to move more using cryptocurrency and give them points and allow them to redeem those points in other services within the country. In Saudi Arabia, we have this green zone where there is NEOM, a new futuristic city. So there are room for a lot of futuristic ideas as well. So room is, sky's the limit in terms of how far you can go. And also in drug development pipeline tracking to implement the UN Nagoya Protocol for biodiversity, making sure that it's tracked over the 15 years of drug development, making sure we give benefits to those who actually allowed their sand and soil and water to be to benefit from the income coming from the drug development after the market. There is also an application in disaster victim identification where we help the DVI team coming from all across the world to identify mass disaster with multi-citizens where antemortem data needs to be matched with post-mortem data. The availability of antemortem data is a great issue. So we use blockchain to solve that. And also we use it as an adapter for translation when it comes to different medical and dental records. We also focus on applications relevant, to other areas in the digital health. Now, this semester I did something, and I'm also working this semester on a new project to use it in reproductive health application and technology, an IVF application to track the sensitive information in that treatment or procedure. Now, I also took on a cybersecurity course that is fundamental cybersecurity this semester. semester. And I wanted to introduce those students to a blockchain implementation to mitigate cybersecurity risks. And that's what we've been doing. And I'm hoping that this semester we'll get the best out of that experience. And we're going to publish in a journal. Hopefully, BBA can actually host some of those articles. We would be glad to have those to mitigate cybersecurity in digital sectors. Now, I just want to give, I conclude with an advice to students. My experience with students in Saudi Arabia, since it's not fully deployed blockchain in the in Saudi Arabia in particular, given that there are still regulations under development in relation to deployment. My students always say to me, we're not very sure about trying to learn a new technology. And one thing I tell them always that university is the safest place where you can make mistakes. It's lethal when it comes to the job market, but when it comes to university, it's your chance to learn from your mistakes, and actually publishing failure is also acceptable in this field. So learning together, and we've been up and downs, but however, we learned how to do it well together as any newcomers to that technology. It's been 6 years now, so it's been mastered better than before. However, it's always good to try new things and new ideas, and there is a huge community that can help you overcome any obstacles that you can have similar to the one we're having here. I'll have my website posted in the chat, and please feel free to reach out should you need any advice in the digital health space. Thank you very much for having me. I wish you a bright future, and we're all here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shada. Excellent. University is the safest place where you can make mistakes. So I made a note of that. Can be lethal in industry. Negative paper should be published. I think there was a discussion earlier. I completely agree, because that's how we learn. If something didn't work, then others should know about it. But because otherwise, we will continue to waste resources, money, funding on things that didn't work. And if we didn't publish, if we didn't let the world know, how are we going to learn? And there was somebody saying this morning that they have submitted that paper to so many journals and got rejected because they said, what's the point? You conducted an experiment that didn't work. That's not very exciting. Well, that's very exciting as an evidence-based practitioner, because this is how we learn. So I think this trend has to change. And Shada, you are the second person since this morning who has said that we should be publishing these results as well. So thank you very much, everyone. We had Professor Tinn joining from Canada, but I think something happened to her, looks like IT-wise. Anyways, we may be able to accommodate her in the next session. So we will take a short break, and then we'll be back at 2 p.m. So in about 9 minutes time with the next session. If you are a speaker and if you joined slightly late, please stay online. We will have you in the next session. We may have some space. So thank you very much, everyone. Roman, Marco, Nicola, Riem, Shada, everybody. And we will see you some other time very soon. Thank you. Oh, Katrin is here. Sorry, we are back. I was I was about to conclude the session, but it's okay. It's okay. We just got you in time. I thought you left but you come back. Okay.
Yeah, hello. So sorry about that. Like I logged in and then everything froze. That always happens.
No problem. Yes, Katrin, please go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, so my name is Katrin Tinn. I'm an assistant professor of finance at McGill University. I actually studied in London, so my PhD is from London School of Economics. So in addition to that, I'm also the director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship Initiative here. And in my connection to the blockchain, it is several, because first I teach fintech courses here, which naturally covers these topics at different levels for bachelor students as well as to masters. I also do research on system domain and on fintech more generally. So especially on fintech, I have research on privacy and data usefulness trade-off, which is, let's say, originally in the context of central bank digital currency, but of course, this sort of arguments apply in other contexts as well. Also on smart contracts for fundraising, as well as, yeah, I'm very curious on set of projects around digital ownership and tokenization. And then, like, yeah, as a university or finance area or like innovation and entrepreneurship initiative overall, we have been also organizing a set of conferences and events on this topic. So we had a conference on central bank digital currencies and alternative payment systems. We also had one on crypto regulation and related channels, because of course it's very fascinating questions, because clearly there is like existing financial regulations, but also like the tokens don't necessarily fit into existing boxes so nicely, and that kind of creates like questions to what how like is the interaction between the private sector and regulators going in this space. So the latest conference was on fintech topic, but a bit further. So it was related to AI, and in general, these conferences have been aiming to facilitate the debate between academics and the policymakers, as well as private sector representatives, rather than being like academic only. So what else can I say? So overall, like, I guess that you wanted me to comment also about studying blockchain related topics in Canada. So one good thing about Montreal, of course, it's kind of in between location. It is like very close to East Coast, especially of United States, and overall. It is also one of the closest cities to Europe, and especially to United Kingdom. Already at our universities, like it's me researching these topics, but also several colleagues already in finance area. There are 3 of us thinking of different aspects that are related to blockchain, and in general, like the Canadian scene on this research topic is also quite active, including like events at the Bank of Canada, for example. So
Thank you very much, Katrin. That was very, very useful overview.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we will be back in about 5-10 minutes time with the next session. Thank you.